ball game. Season on the line.
He was pitching on 3 days rest again.
On the corner, he pumps his fist.
He cared about the team. He put the team first.
130 pitches tonight.
It's going to take 8 or 9 of us to get him off the mound.
You would have had to wrestle with him, and he's too big to wrestle.
Bare hands it.
There was no chance he was coming out of that game.
You need a crane to get him out of here.
I'll give him one more hitter.
You guys give me some runs, we're going to win the game.
Sabathia!
There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series.
Down 2-0. The Boston Red Sox have come storming back. No hits allowed by Pedro Martinez from the 4th inning on.
Holiday is one strike away. The 0-2. A bouncer. Ruiz. In time!
This is MLB's Epic Moments. An ace arrives.
Sabathia, a true ace. He's an ace in every single possible way.
CC Sabathia had developed into precisely that, following his debut year in 2001, living up to expectations.
#1 draft pick, you go all the way through the system.
By 2007, he had become the staff ace of the Cleveland Indians and won the Cy Young Award.
He got him. Number 7 for the big lefty.
It was during that season Sabathia earned the reputation of being a workhorse on the mound.
And CC has done it. A 5-hit shutout.
He led the American League in both innings and starts.
How you doing, big man? You dealing with the bugs? Yeah. All right.
For a pitcher hitting his prime, in the final year of his contract, 2008 would be a big year for the highly coveted lefty. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Brewers began that 08 season with the optimism of a team on the rise.
2007, I think, was the first year we'd finished above 500 in a long time. And the next logical step was to find a way to get to the postseason.
With a roster brimming with talent, the Brew crew got off to a fast start in their quest to reach the postseason for the first time in 25 years.
How about that one, folks? What a start.
And then when we started playing pretty good baseball, we felt that maybe one extra piece in the pitching could help us, contend deep into the season and give yourself a chance to go to the playoffs.
We were drawing well, we were playing well. We just might have been 1 or 2 players short and definitely a pitcher short.
And fresh off a Cy Young season, there was one pitcher in Cleveland who was an enticing option should the Indians choose to trade him.
There was rumors out there that as a free agent, they weren't going to be able to sign him.
The fans and everybody that, we were optimistic that something would happen. CC was available.
And the rumors were not lost on Sabathia.
It's kind of hard not to notice all the speculation. Anytime somebody called me, it was like, hey, where you going? What's going on? Being a part of that organization for really 10 years, I kind of grew up there. So it was tough to kind of deal with that and try to pitch at the same time.
He is 106 wins and just 71 losses in his big league career, and he is not yet turned 28.
Finally, on July 7th, the trade was made, and CC headed to Milwaukee, filled with optimism.
The team was really good. The young talent, Ryan Braun, Ricky Weeks, Billy Hall, Prince Fielder. And I think people could see that it was a special team and had a chance to do special things.
It is a huge boost, to the fans who have had a long drought here, obviously.
I think Doug made it loud and clear when we got CC Sabathia that, hey, you fans have supported us to the point now where we feel like we can go for it.
I'd say we're going for it.
The team had not been to the playoffs since 1982, 26 years.
And a very, very happy Brewer club.
So it was a very exciting acquisition, possibly the biggest acquisition in the history of the team.
Just a great feeling. You know, I'm sure my son will have a couple of these on.
The day we traded for CC, I think that was the moment of truth for a lot of guys in the clubhouse that, hey, we're playing for reals right here, and we got the big man to help us out.
The acquisition of the reigning Cy Young Award winner made Brewers fans even more confident that they could end their 25-year postseason drought. And one day after the trade, they gave their new star a hero's welcome.
Big ovation. They just announced Sabathia's name as they have been introducing the starting lineup.
It kind of sparked us. Just that first night that I think he pitched, just to go out on the field after we acquired him, everyone was screaming. There was CC chants.
Another ovation for Sabathia as he comes out on the field.
It was just pretty exciting to see that the fans were as into it as we were.
As the runners take off, and Hoff is down on strikes. Sabathia makes a catch, and it's a double play.
CC went on to win his first National League game, keeping Milwaukee on pace in the postseason race, to the delight of his new fans. But the big man was just getting started.
I got in the groove and just kind of just went from there.
Struck him out swinging. Down he goes. Sabathia goes back to the cutter.
He went out there, he gave us not only a chance to win, he did win.
CC Sabathia goes the distance.
Sometimes he won the game himself. I recall one game where I think he hit a 2-run homer.
0-2 pitch. Swinging a drive to right. That ball's got a chance down the right field line, and it's gone for a home run. How about that? CC goes deep.
I very seldom say that one player can make that kind of a difference with the ball club, but CC had that kind of physical presence, a confident presence.
He pumps his fist defiantly, does CC Sabathia.
And it just made our whole ball club feel so much better about the rest of the season.
In dramatic fashion, make it a winner of CC Sabathia.
CC came to Milwaukee armed with an impressive repertoire.
Hey, struck out the side.
But soon after his arrival, that arsenal grew even more devastating.
Right when I got there, about 2 weeks in, Mike Maddox taught me a two-seamer, a slider. I called it a cutter, it was a slider.
When he was warming up, he was throwing this slider in there that was like no slider I had seen before from a left-hander.
This is my slider grip, just a kind of wipeout slider with 2 strikes.
Pujols throws the bat. A rare sight indeed.
What a performance by Sabathia, and it's his 3rd complete game in a row. Wow.
No doubt about it, CC had the Brewers back.
That's my big brother behind you.
Bodyguard.
And his domination on the mound was becoming a sight to behold.
CC Sabathia going after his 6th win as a Brewer.
When he took the ball, you pretty much thought we were going to win. I mean, you know, bullpen, we might have a day off today.
And this day was no different.
And down he goes.
As he once again went the distance.
Sabathia with a 5-hit shutout, another complete game.
He was so strong that year that he still had his velocity late in games. I look up at the radar gun, it would still be 94, 95 late in games.
130 pitches tonight and another complete game.
Sabathia goes the distance again.
You can't pitch any better than the reigning Cy Young Award winner.
After we picked him up, it was probably as good a stretch as any pitcher's had in Major League history.
What a job he's done since the Brewers have acquired him. 9-0. Wow.
I do remember that streak. It was exciting for all of us. And we were just excited to continue to move forward to get to September.
Behind CC Sabathia's 9-0 record as a Brewer, Milwaukee began September 1st in the wild card. 5.5 games ahead of 2 teams. But then they began to falter.
The Brewers take one in the gut tonight.
Although the Brewers' pitching staff had its issues, the team's offensive woes were overwhelming.
It's got to put a lot of pressure on the starting pitchers.
Hey, you give up a couple of runs early, might cost you the ball game.
Expectations are very, very big once you get here. Everybody in the country's watching, and learning how to handle the pressures of a pennant race is tough.
I think sometimes when you're a young group and dealing with, the pressure of trying to get to the postseason, it's human nature to try to do too much.
Right now, this lineup is filled with guys that just are not hot.
The offense was really struggling in September at that time. The pitching was still outstanding, so it was just a matter of how are we going to scratch out some runs and win enough games to get in the playoffs.
Those wins proved elusive.
The reeling Brewers continue to be just that.
As Milwaukee lost 11 of its first 14 games in September.
And the home folk not happy as they file toward the exits.
So with just 12 games left in the regular season, the Brewers radically changed their course, tasking another skipper to right the ship.
Milwaukee, they spent an off day yesterday firing a manager and promoting third base coach Dale Swain.
Hopefully it's maybe a shock to the team and kickstarts them.
But not even that could stop the team's downward spiral.
That ball is off his glove.
As CC suffered his first loss as a Brewer.
Frozen on a breaking ball.
And adding injury to insult, the team lost its all-star starter when Ben Sheets gave in to a tender elbow.
They cannot afford to be without Ben Sheets.
Ben Sheets was dealing with a shoulder problem at that time, and Giovanni was coming off the ACL, so I was trying to take the ball as much as I could.
He says, I'm going to go on 3 days rest. You know, I don't really care about my free agent status. I want to win.
And I just said, I mean, we have nobody to throw, you know. I mean, I feel fine, I feel great. I'll let you know if something's going on, but just count on me being out there every third day. And we were trying to make the playoffs. I was having a lot of fun. I didn't want the season to end.
CC Sabathia really had a lot to lose by doing that. He was about to be a free agent, up for a huge contract.
The fact that he was able to put all that on the back burner and just do everything in his power to help us win games spoke volumes of who he is as a person and as a teammate.
Led by their selfless, tireless workhorse, the Brewers entered the final week of the season in a battle for their postseason lives. With just 5 games left in the regular season, Milwaukee was a game back in the wild card. CC had 2 starts left. 2 he had to win.
CC Sabathia takes the ball tonight. Everybody's talking about pitching on 3 days rest.
He was everything you wanted in an ace, and he took the ball down the stretch. He gave us everything he had and then some.
Swung on, missed. He struck out another.
Struck out 11, walked only 2, gave up 1 run.
CC's superb performance moved Milwaukee into a tie for the wild card. They were still tied with 1 game left in the season. A win would ensure them of 1 more game. Where? They had no idea.
We came to the ballpark that morning with our bags packed. We didn't know where we were going.
Dale Swain told the guys to pack their stuff because the fact that if the Brewers win and the Mets win, there's still going to be that tiebreaker.
So to put his teammates' minds at ease, CC made a bold pregame prediction.
I just remember telling those guys, don't worry about packing. If you guys give me some runs, we're going to win the game.
CC Sabathia ready to take the ball once again on 3 days rest.
CC, he grinded it out. He was pitching on 3 days rest again.
Today, his 3rd start on 3 days rest.
It's amazing the durability of CC Sabathia. 9 days, 3 starts, and still able to throw 96 miles an hour.
In the meantime, the Marlins and the Mets were in a rain delay.
Almost an hour rain delay between the Marlins and the Mets, but they are just underway, no score.
Back in Milwaukee, Sabathia was dealing.
Hey, struck him out looking.
While CC kept his game tied at 1 through 7 innings, you couldn't blame the Brewers and their fans for peeking at the events taking place in New York.
Football games. I mean, it's almost like we're watching 2 because of the Milwaukee-Chicago game.
We try not to scoreboard watch too much during the season, but when it comes down to the last day, last couple innings, it's impossible not to. I remember the crowd reacting anytime they changed the score.
There's the roar from the crowd. Marlins lead the Mets 2-0.
Sabathia in his 8th inning of work today on 3 days rest again.
Sabathia's spot in the order is due up first.
And you got to figure that Dale's not going to allow CC to lead an inning off in a tie game.
Maybe not, but the Brewers' bullpen was still as CC carved his way through the 8th.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
We wanted to finish that game, and I think it was going to take probably 8 or 9 of us to go up there and get him off the mound.
On the corner, a called strike 3.
Sabathia only getting stronger.
There was no chance he was coming out of that game.
You would have had to take the baseball and wrestle with him, and he's too big to wrestle with. So.
Bear hands it. The legend lives. CC Sabathia with a 3-up, 3-down inning. What can he do?
We go to the bottom of the 8th. Milwaukee 1, Cubs 1.
In a situation that normally cried out for a pinch hitter, Swaim defied tradition and kept his ace in the game.
I've seen everything now.
The pitcher hits for himself in a tie game in the 8th inning, but this is no ordinary pitcher.
And while CC didn't reach base,
Ball strike 3.
his teammates seemed to be inspired by the moment and commenced with a rally.
Cameron lines a base hit to left.
And the go-ahead run is aboard.
Things were breaking right in Milwaukee and at Chase Stadium in Queens.
Scoring update from New York. A solo home run in the 8th inning helps Florida with a 3-2 lead.
While the fans at Miller Park rejoiced with the Mets now on the ropes, the Brewers and CC sought to control their destiny.
2 gone, runner at first, and here's Ryan Braun.
You know, we were all hoping Ryan would come up with the big hit. He had done it so many times over the course of the year.
And there's a drive in the left field. This is hit well, and it's gone! Ryan Braun! A 2-run home run! The Brewers take the lead!
And all we needed now was 3 more outs from CC.
What a day for Sabathia. Final game, season on the line. Here he is in the 9th. It's hit in the air to left, not deep. There's Braun. 1 down.
113 pitches, 14 now for CC Sabathia. That last pitch at 95 miles an hour. Incredible.
It didn't matter if he had 100 pitches or if he had 120. He wanted the ball through 140.
Here is Derek Lee representing the tying run now.
Solomon Torres is ready, but he's just going to watch.
He got to 120 pitches going into that last out.
You need a crane to get him out of here. A truck. He's not coming out of this one.
Tying run at the plate.
Everybody in this place is standing.
I'll give him one more hitter, and about the time I got that out of my mouth, ground ball.
The ground, a chance here. Durham to Hardy to first. In time! Yes! The Brewers win! Yes! Sabathia, a complete game.
What a performance by Sabathia.
Raise a glass, Milwaukee.
What a game. My goodness. They guarantee at least a one-game playoff.
And Sabathia now saluting this huge crowd. And they return the salute.
And now everybody watches and waits while the Mets and the Marlins finish up.
We sat around to see what was going to happen with the game, whether we were going to have to play a playoff to get in or whether we were in.
All of the players are in the dining room, the players' dining room. They're all stuffed in there waiting for the final out. Of course, they're watching the Mets game.
After the game, after we had already won, going in the clubhouse and watching the Mets, all the fans were still in the stands.
All eyes are on the Mets and Marlins. In fact, we turn around, it is on the big board here, and no one in this ballpark is leaving.
Watch the game with 50,000 people watching in Miller Park was pretty special.
So they're 1 strike away from the Brewers going to the playoffs.
Swing and a drive. Right center field, but it's playable.
Long fly. And here we go. Look out, boys. The Brewers are going to the playoffs in 2008.
How sweet it is.
Holy cow, this is going to happen. The Milwaukee Brewers are going to go to the postseason for the first time in 26 years.
CC, what are your thoughts? I mean, tell me how you're feeling right now.
Amazing. It's amazing.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
You know, it was a really cool moment for us all to be together, kind of start the celebration in the clubhouse, and it carry over to the dugout.
Now the players are making their way out here to the field. You got to have a little public celebration, don't you?
And we went back out on the field, and it was total hysteria. All the Brewer fans were just going nuts.
Milwaukee's 26-year wait for postseason play was finally over, thanks in great part to an epic, throwback, and historic performance by CC Sabathia, who pitched his final 3 games on 3 days rest.
I'd never seen anything like that. You know, he really put us on his back and carried us to the postseason, and it was special because he'd only been a part of the team for a few months, but it felt like he'd been with us for years.
It's great to be a part of it, and it's something I could look back on and really be satisfied with that accomplishment.